Antonio Quistian was involved in a motorcycle accident that left him paralyzed from his chest level down. After months in recovery, he began to experience the difficulties of daily living while being confined to a wheelchair. However, he became inspired as an entrepreneur and helped with spinal cord injured support groups, and he even started a business. Our On the Move host, Donna Yeager, met with Antonio and discussed the many endeavors that he has been involved with. Now here are Antonio and our host, Donna Yeager.
Hi, I'm Donna Yeager with On the Move, and I'd like to welcome our very special guest, Antonio Quistian.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, Antonio.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we actually met because I was looking through the bridge, the park, the wheelchair accessible park.
Correct.
Over in Palo Alto. And what's it called? It's called Bridge.
The Magical Bridge Playground.
Right.
Yeah.
And you did a beautiful YouTube piece about it, and really you made it fun and interesting, and you know, people who want to see it, you know, could just look it up, and it's just really very interesting, right. And you make it a lot of fun to see, and you kind of have a rolling dialogue as you know are you know, getting up into the park area, and then you go through the park, and you know, you look at the wheelchair accessible ramps in there, and then you have a little ride into the clubhouse area, and that beautiful musical area where you could drive your chair in and out of the different notes.
Right, right. It was kind of set up like that. The whole day was just kind of basically our perspective of how we, you know, view it. And I just heard about it actually the day before their grand opening. Wow. And I was like, you know, I got to go take a look at this place. And usually when I go out, I like to show people, you know, what I experience in a wheelchair. Right. And I wanted to try to get as many people to go there as I could. And it turned out so well that everybody liked it, and it worked out. And you've seen it.
Exactly.
Here I am now.
That's right. Right. And you have been so involved with so many different activities, and since your accident, you really have been able to touch a lot of people's lives, and you know, help a lot of people out. So that's wonderful. That's
right.
Right.
It's all, I mean, at the end of the day, it's about giving back, you know, and sharing what I go through, and making it easier for the next person. And, you know, I'm not the best at everything, but I'm getting better, and if I can help somebody after me, it's working out.
That's wonderful. Right. That's what it's all about, too, is helping people and sharing experiences.
Definitely, definitely.
That's great. And you have a wonderful motorcycle, too. It's really cool. You drove up when we met a couple weeks ago, and that was so much fun to see you drive up in that.
Right. Well, you know, part of the perks of living in California is we get great weather. Yeah. And, you know, I wasn't going to let this accident and my injury stop me from living what I love to do. Yeah. And I was able to create a motorcycle that has served me really well, and turns heads in the process.
It's beautiful.
You know, it's helping people realize that just because they're in a wheelchair doesn't mean that you can't do anything you love. And my motorcycle is proof of that for sure.
And there's like a sidecar, right?
Yeah, so the one that you've seen is the one I ride with, the side cart, which is a custom-built side cart. It allows me to be able to take my wheelchair with me. Yeah. So when I get somewhere, I can still be mobile and go and enjoy everything there is somewhere. Yeah. But I'm able to get there in style and comfort on the bike, you know?
That's great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, and you turn a lot of heads. Actually, as you drove off, I went back into the restaurant, and the manager of the facility said, "Wow, that was really cool to watch him transfer from the wheelchair into the, you know, the driver's seat area, and that was really cool."
I get that quite often. I mean, there's so many times I've been somewhere and the wheelchair's on the side of me, and I'm on the bike, and someone will walk up and say, "This is so cool. So whose wheelchair is that?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't just carry around a wheelchair. That's my wheelchair, you know." So it's kind of amazing to let people see, you know, what somebody in a chair is capable of doing. Because a lot of times they don't even realize that we can drive a car, let alone come on two wheels, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic, because is there a ramp that goes up to it, or how does that work?
In the back there is a slant that allows me to kind of pop up and go up. If it's not too high, it's only about 4 inches off the ground, so it's a lot shorter than a curb or something.
Wow.
So I kind of grab that, and there's a bar for me to kind of pull myself forward.
Oh, okay.
So it's not the most easiest, most accessible device, but it's riding a motorcycle.
Yeah, but you're nice and strong.
Exactly, exactly. So I try to stay fit. You know?
That's right. Yeah, well, and that helps, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's like anything else, riding a horse, going in the water, riding a motorcycle, it takes a lot of energy out of you. Yeah. And so even if I do it a few times a week, it's keeping me strong, and it's keeping me, but more than that, it's keeping my mind a little bit free, and it's rejuvenating, you know, it keeps me young.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's just cool, too.
Yeah, for sure, that's for sure.
You look really bad.
Hey, thank you.
But in a good way.
Yeah, exactly. Bad to good.
That's right. And I know that you also enjoy bowling, right?
Yeah. You know, I didn't before my accident, which is funny, but I think now that I'm in a wheelchair, anything that I can do that they wouldn't think we can do makes it more enjoyable, you know? So whether it's bowling or swimming or whatever it is, I kind of take it more of a personal challenge to be good at it.
Right.
Doesn't always work out that way, but I have fun trying. You know?
Cool. Yeah. Well, you said when you go swimming, you enjoy taking your nieces, right?
Yeah. Well, I have 2 nieces that live with me, and kids are amazing, you know, and kids keep us young. So anything that I can include them in is something I love to do, you know. And that was one of the reasons for my visit to the Magical Bridge thing, because it was a park that I could take my nieces to and be a part of it instead of just watching from the sidelines.
Oh, cool, yeah. So you could be included in the fun.
Exactly, exactly.
Which is rare. I mean, really, when you think about it, usually you just kind of have to sit on the side because there are frequently steps down into the sand area.
And you know, that's the other thing, like you're able to join in everything, whether you are a wheelchair user or your children are wheelchair users, you know. It's inclusive, and that's something that I wanted to be a part of and join, so.
And you know the saying, the family that plays together stays together.
I believe it. So I'm going to keep playing, you know.
Good. That will keep us young too, that way.
Yeah, definitely.
That's great.
The nieces, they loved it, but I don't think they loved it as much because they kind of like, well, now he can chase us everywhere. See, before they just had to run into the sand to get away from me. Now I can roll everywhere in there, so it keeps me youthful. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's good. So good for you, not so good for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, that's all right. We'll go down the parts just to kind of equal out there.
Have you been there yet?
Oh, yeah, several times.
It's awesome.
I love that place.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I've been there like probably 4 or 5 times now. And it's really nice in the afternoon when the weather's kind of cooling down and the beautiful trees are kind of shading the area. It's very pretty.
Definitely. It was, you know, well, on my trip there, it was the grand opening. Right. So there was a lot of commotion, a lot of stuff going on. I have made it back once, and it's relaxing, you know. You get to have your fun. You get to go out there and enjoy it. But if you want to just take it slow and go through the music and enjoy just the scenery, it's a great time. Yeah, good.
Then it's probably good to go like around 5 in the afternoon when it's not so chaotic.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Busy. A lot of kids are eating dinner at home, you know.
That's when the grown-ups get to have their fun in the park. I understand.
That's right.
I understand.
Exactly. And then also I have my friend Greg Anderson told me that he really enjoyed hearing you talk at the Spinal Cord Injured Network group over at Valley Medical Center in San Jose. So and you enjoy going over there?
Yeah, you know, I had my injury in Southern California.
Yeah.
And I did my rehab there, but when I moved back up here to be with my family, I started going to Valley Medical, which has one of the most great spinal cord support groups and research here in Northern California. And when I joined that peer support group, they had told me, you know, you're going to help benefit a lot of people.
Right, right.
And so I continue. Here we go, 7 years now. Going on 7 years, and I'm still going back.
Oh, good.
I'm just sharing my experiences, and you know, I look forward to visiting there every Monday. And seeing the new patients and speaking with them. So.
And then our friend Marv Tuttle, he kind of, you know, leads some of the groups over there, and our friend Richard, he was really good at you know, helping out a lot of the people and the patients who went through Valley Med. And there's so many, my gosh, and you knew Richard too.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to meet Richard. He was running it when I first got injured, so I was barely starting out in this life when he was there, and I had heard he had been there for like 20-something years, which is amazing. It amazes me, you know, when someone's seen all the transitions, especially with the ADA. We just had the 25th anniversary. And so to see people live through all of that and walk through it, it's amazing to me. So Richard was really a good influence in telling me, you know, to come back and help. And it's something that I've enjoyed to do because of people like him. So Richard's a good guy. And also, Valley Medical Center also has a lot of different activities that they encourage people to get involved with, and one of them was the Far West group, and they do a lot of different activities around San Jose and around the Bay Area. So it kind of gets people out there on the move. And and that's the good thing about Valley Medical is they're just not just highlighting what they do. They bring forth everybody in the community and will give you resources to whatever it is you want to do, whether it's living, sports, you know, clothing like with me or whatever it is. They'll point you in that direction to help you out, and you know, that's what it's about. We learn from each other, and so Valley Medical's program is very great, and I like to help there, and sometimes I take charge and try to lead a little bit, you know, because I am a little bit more outgoing in my injury, and so for new guys that are recently injured, to see someone like myself who's younger and still enthusiastic about living life in a wheelchair, it gives them a little bit more hope.
Exactly. And sometimes people can be a little shy. You know, so you're great for bringing people out of their shell. And
well, I mean, the way I've always viewed it, it's life. You know, it's life, and we got to stay on the move. We got to stay going. So whether it's we're talking about restroom use or relationships, or you know, I'm one that brings forth the conversation first, so I can kind of like speak about what they're thinking. You know, because not everyone's as open to talk about those personal issues, but we also leave the opportunity that they can contact us later and share. Whether I'm always available, whether it's through emails or phone calls or whatever it is. I make myself available to everybody. With an injury or without. Because sometimes the parents have questions. The relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend has questions.
That's true. That's very true. And you were very brave. How many years ago was it when you cut your hair for the
my hair
organization?
It's funny because people still point that out. They're like, "Wait, you look familiar." I'm like, "Well, do you remember the guy with braids?" And they're like, "Yes." I ended up cutting my hair. It's gonna be 7 months now. 6 or 7 months ago. And prior to that, I hadn't had a haircut in about 15 years. So I cut off about 19 inches of hair.
Oh my God.
It was hard to let it go. But I did it.
And you did it in honor of your grandfather, right?
My grandfather. My grandfather was a great man. He passed away of cancer. And, you know, so donating my hair, I did through the Beautiful Lengths through Pantene's program. I did it in dedication for those that are battling cancer. But that wasn't the only reason that I donated it. It was also a memory of my grandfather, because my whole life he was really adamant about me cutting my hair. he grew up in the era, and he was through IBM.
Yeah.
And he said, your hair's not supposed to touch your collar. And all my life he gave me that hard talk about, when are you gonna cut that hair, boy? When are you gonna cut that hair? And after he passed, and me starting my business with Endless Ability, I started to realize what he was trying to hint at. You know, I meet doctors, I meet lawyers, and first impressions mean a lot. And you know, my urban look with the braids suited me well in promoting Endless Ability. But in meeting people and it being taken serious in business, clean cut look is working for me.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a good look.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm getting used to the short hair.
Very nice.
I'll tell you, there's two things that I really enjoy about having the short hair is not spending as much money on hair products. And the quick maintenance. I'm able to leave my house in 5 minutes now.
Wow.
No more 35 minutes of hair prepping. So.
Wow. And it went to a really good cause too. That's wonderful.
That was the best thing. You know, I joke around a lot about it, but at the end of the day, my hair went hopefully to help somebody that you know is going to build their self-esteem.
Or maybe help a couple people.
Yeah, that much hair would probably help 5 people.
I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, let's talk about your family, because I know they're very important to you.
Yes, yeah. I mean, like any time something, you know, tragic happens or something hard happens, you find out who's going to be the closest for you. And in my situation, it was my family. You know, my friends kind of scattered off a little bit, which is understandable. Everyone has their own life to live. But my parents and my brother really stepped up and made my transition into asking for more help, because I grew up really independent. I grew up really independent, and so needing people's assistance in the beginning of my injury made me stronger today, which is probably why I'm as independent as I am today, you know, because of people like my family. So worked out for me.
Yeah, and it really helps to be independent, you know, because you're your own best advocate.
That's right. That's right.
But it is really wonderful when your family's there to kind of step up and help you out through some of the rough moments. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate to have that, and you know, for those that don't, you gain 1 or 2 good friends, and if you don't have that, you come to peer support, or you talk to people that are going through something like you're going through. You know, and they reach out to you, and then you build that strong friendship. And that's what I find now, like the majority of people that are my friends and close allies to me now are also wheelchair users. And so it's a support system. That's what it comes down to, you know, support system.
So true. And then also, you had a booth at the expo in San Jose, right? Tell us about that, your experiences with meeting new people.
Yeah, so the Abilities Expo, that was a great starting point for when I started my company, Endless Ability. The first time I went, I didn't even really have a product to sell. I just went to kind of talk and meet with people. And they embraced me, and they were really adamant about what I was doing, and they're like, this is great. And after that, I joined on with the circuit, and I do multiple cities.
Good.
I always do the Bay Area one. I do the Los Angeles Expo. And I do a few other ones throughout the United States. And it works great because it's an opportunity to see so many other wheelchair users, all kinds of different challenges, and they're all there to learn and to watch and experience together. So to have my company involved in anything like that is like, it's a blessing to me. So it's worked out.
And you get to meet so many interesting people too.
Everybody. And you know, especially with all the stuff on social media, people, you know, doing wonderful and amazing things from a wheelchair. Popularity grows, and you have people on TV now that are in wheelchairs, people doing stunts in wheelchairs. So you have all these people, so they get to go there, and you get to really interact and meet with those people. And you know, they introduce you, and they, hey, I know you. You know, and so it's funny that we have our own little community amongst our big community. You know.
And every expo that you go to, it's a whole new group of people that it's amazing. I mean, yeah.
Well, it's great, especially if they've watched your Instagram or your Facebook or whatever it is, you know, and then you get a message or an email saying, hey, are you going to come to the Houston Expo? Are you going to come to the New York Expo? You know, because if they have similarities and they see a little bit of themselves in what you're doing, whether it's like riding the motorcycle, I'm sure somebody who's, you know, in his 20s, freshly injured, he wants to get to that level. So if he can have the opportunity to have me come to his city or town and him have a conversation with me, I mean, it boosts them so much, you know. So I think that's part of the reason why the expos are such a blessing to our community.
Yeah. Well, even your blog that you have to, you know, how you show people how you get in and out of your car, your vehicle. You know, for someone who's newly injured, who doesn't know how to do that, how to maneuver the wheelchair and how to get it in behind you, or
I mean, part of that whole thing was I wanted to document as much of the stuff that I go through to make it easier for the next person. And, you know, part of endless ability is doing that, is showing them that their abilities are endless. And what they teach you in the hospital is just the starting point to what you're going to experience. You know, therapists and doctors, they show you one way to transfer, but that doesn't work for everybody. So if I can show you how I do it, and I'm at my level, which is a T4, you know, I'm pretty high for as much mobility stuff as I get into. So for a guy that's a T11 or T10, for him to say, well, he's a T4 and he does it this way, let me try that. And it works for him. Then my video did exactly what it was supposed to do, you know.
Oh, that's great.
And that's all it is capturing. GoPro has been the most amazing thing for me, you know. You've seen it, and other people see it when I go places. They're like, is that a GoPro on your wheelchair? And I'm like, yeah. There's a reason for it, though. Let me explain, you know. So.
And the gadget that you have is so cool, the way it turns, and you can, it's like little circular.
Yeah, they have it's just a clamp device, and it allows you to position it to every angle, which makes sense, especially somebody that's on a limited income or doesn't have a big budget. They can buy this one clamp and capture multiple different views. And, you know, instead of having to buy 8 cameras and set them all up, it makes it really convenient. Technology's really helped us out in expressing ourselves.
Exactly, that's fantastic. And you're able to take it everywhere you go, and
everywhere.
And it's very nice, really. You do it really well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You do a good job at this.
I try.
Yeah, and you succeed. So tell us more about your family, because I know they're really important to you.
Well, I grew up in a single-family home. My mother worked a lot for us. She did a lot of strengthening me and my little brothers. My father just wasn't able to be around. When I got into my 20s, my father was able to come back, and he was the biggest help during my injury. When I got injured in a motorcycle accident in Southern California, San Diego. Perfect weather. And I'm 6'1", so I'm not a small guy. And my girlfriend was really petite at the time, so it was hard for her to help me. So my father really stepped up, and I'm his son, so I went back to live with him, and he was able to help me with all my transferring and showering and all that type of stuff. So without him, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, you know. And as I got more independent and started to want to live on my own, the next best thing was my brother, who's 4 years younger than me, for me and him to get a place together. And he allowed me to live with him for a while, and that worked out. And him having 2 nieces made me feel a little bit more like, you know, a father figure to them, and so family's the most important thing. We gain our support
and
from
you're able to educate them as well. You know?
Of course, not only just in life in general, but people with disabilities, and they look at it as something different now, because they know my uncle's in a wheelchair and he could do this and this and this and this. So I know, you know, they don't look at us as people with disabilities. They look at it as kind of cool. Because they steal my wheelchair all the time. And I got tracks up and down the hallway from them racing each other. So it's a toy still, you know.
Exactly. Well, I also want to talk about the Spinal Cord Injured Network is at Valley Medical Center. And if people want to actually get in touch with them, they can call area code 408-885-2000, and it's you hit number 3, and you're able to get directly to the Spinal Cord Injured Network, and that's really cool.
Definitely, and they're growing that so much right now. With the, like I said, the technology advancing. We're also doing streaming now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a big part of their peer support group. I get called probably twice a week to visit new patients, which I don't like hearing because I don't want to know about new patients happening. But it's a fact and it's reality.
Right. Yeah.
So I go in and I meet you know, a lot of the more youthful guys. Just met a young kid from that was injured, and you know, to go see him, and I took my bike for him to see, and he was just amazed. Yeah. And so, you know, with them doing that, we're advancing the groups, and we're branching out and doing a lot of outpatient therapy. So
good. That's great. Yeah, that'll really help too. Yeah. So, and the fact that you know, the veterans, you know, they really need to have our support too. Yeah. And you know, that's great that you're able to show people that you've got that cool motorcycle. Oh yeah. And you can still do things.
You know, with endless ability, that's exactly what my goal was. These guys paid a sacrifice for us to enjoy the freedoms we have here in the United States. And they come back, and I want them to feel that they could still do everything, and not because they got injured doesn't mean that their life's over. And so showing them, you know, this motorcycle that I ride, or the clothes that I wear can still be stylish and cool, but functional for us. It lightens. It makes them feel like it's gonna be okay.
Exactly.
And we owe them so much. So for me to give back to them every opportunity I can, is great. Yeah.
Well, I want to say that phone number one more time. Area code 408 for Valley Medical Center. 408-885-2000, and if they dial number 3 on the phone, they can get directly through to the
one of the peer support group guys or the people in charge there. Yes.
Excellent. And Tony, I want to thank you so very much. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. It's always a pleasure seeing you.
Thank you.
I love your smile. I love your laugh. You keep us going.
Thank you. And thank you so very much for joining us. Until next time, I'm Donna Yeager with On the Move. Have a wonderful day. That's cool.
We're striking out to set the pace. We all can choose to make a difference. Our time is overdue. If we collect our dreams, take them on the move. We're rolling and we're walking, but we're not sitting still. There's a world of adventure to explore. We're signing and we're talking from New York to Brazil, from Canada on out to Singapore. We're on the move to make this world a better place. We're on the move. We're striking out to set the pace.